I'm excited to share these live episodes with you from the 2024 NADA show in Las Vegas. I'm on the Lot Link stage interviewing our industry leaders out there who have been so gracious to share the stage with me. We're doing live recordings. They're sharing strategies to help our industry and our businesses level up. I hope you enjoy each and every one of these episodes. Listen and learn. Hey, it's Jen Suzuki, and I'm in the industry. I meet some of the greatest leaders out there, dealer execs, dealers, GMs, and I'm bringing them in the studio to talk to me about what's making their business pop, what's accelerating their growth. I'm sharing my own personal strategies for your sales teams, so I'm ready to get after it. Are you? Welcome back, listeners. This is Jen Suzuki with Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki podcast. And I am so pumped because I've got Michael Thomas with me here today. This is a sales manager that I've watched absolutely destroy the game. Top Mercedes dealership in Ohio. The most important thing that I like about Michael is his energy. So this one time I was in his store and we were working with all the salespeople and he was like, "Give me the phone." I was like, "Excuse me?" In front of your whole team. So Michael just gets on the phone and he starts calling customers in front of his sales team, not knowing anything that's going to happen. And they gotta come back to him. He's the coach, right? He messes this thing up. You know how that goes. But, yeah, it's basically over. Michael Thomas is here. He destroys sales process. And the people love him. And I can't wait for you guys to hear some tactics.
Like in a good way,
Michael.
though. Yeah, like destroying in a good way, though.
Yeah,
like,
destroying in a good
productively,
way.
productive destruction. Yes.
The chirping that you might have heard in the background, my other friend and colleague. Daniel, I've watched lead one of the most amazing sales teams in the business. And I'm not just saying that because he's standing here in front of me, but I would never have asked him to come on here if I didn't already see his success. Daniel and I met because he was at the NAD Academy. He was a student there going through the academy. And I have worked with his store alongside with Michael Thomas for years. And I'm here at the NADA show on a live podcast here at the Lot Links booth. And I literally just wanted to bring them here to share some of their good ideas with dealers and their managers and their sales teams. And I'm always thinking, how can we find something to level up? And so I want to ask you a very simple question. And there's a lot to unpack in this question, but a lot of times we have a problem with turnover in the business. And one of the things that I know is a strength for both of you is not only hiring the right people. I don't know how you do it. I'd love to know, because you have quality people. They fight the fight. Right? They show up to work. Anytime I do like trainings, they always were there. Yeah, maybe not all the time on here, but they were there for me every week. Yeah, excited, ready to learn something new.
Everyone shows up for Jim.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys were very consistent about, always having, something that would build people up in place. And I just want you to share your story with me. Share with me how you attract the right people in your sales department. This is your BDC too. How do you retain people? What are you doing that is so different than anybody else?
Michael passed me the mic because he's a terrible judge of character.
You're hired. You're hired.
Okay, clearly Daniel's doing all the hiring.
No, it's like what you said about training. It's like people, if you're not interested in training, if you're not interested in hearing someone else like tell you a way that they've been successful and you don't want to learn about it, then that's probably not somebody that we can work with. So like what's important to us needs to be important to you, needs to be important to us too. So like training is one of those things. You've got to show us that you want to learn to be like smarter. We talked about it here at NADA too, because it's like we want to be the kids in the back of the class. We want somebody that can look at our numbers and be like, "You think that's good?
Right.
It's not bad. Here's something else. Here's a different way. Here's another way to think about it."
Okay.
So we want that. We want people that can think like independently, like their own type of like.
Yeah, but how do you find these people? I mean, I'm sitting here thinking.
You ask questions.
Like what?
Because normally,
what gets you there?
We're geared to judge, right? And it's like if you can be curious instead of judgmental, then you can ask questions somebody might give you answers that are different from what you thought already you were going to hear. So throw away your bias that you have before you go in and talk to somebody. Ask them questions that'll help you open your eyes to the person you're talking to and how that might be different. So we know that from like the conversation. We know that from asking like, how would you do this? Or if you were going to change something, like if you were going to do something differently, don't hurt anybody's feelings. Like if you're going to change something, you're going to wave a magic wand and do something differently, what would you do? And if they can't really answer that or haven't thought about that, like you should be someone that questions everything. Like don't ever accept anything as a status quo. Don't accept it just because it's been done that way.
Yeah.
So those are the people that look at something and wonder, like, why is it that way? Like, how can that change? Like those are people we typically gel with. Michael always falls in love with people that don't make it past the background check, though.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, well, let's fast forward to Daniel's hired the right people because he's been very inquisitive. He asks a lot of questions, scenario questions. What would you do in these scenarios? Just to hear how people talk, how they calculate their solution. Yeah, right. Okay, you're trying to gauge some personality here because I mean, at the end of the day, you got to talk to some people.
But really, like get in touch with them and who they are, and really get to know them as a person. That's what it really boils down to get to that human level, as opposed to just, I'm your boss, I'm your superior, I'm going to teach you things, I'm going to train you. Yeah. But they have to be able to believe in you from a trust perspective as well.
Yeah, they need to know that you care about them as a person. Like people have families and everything at home.
What's going on in their lives, what they have going on their day-to-day, in the future, what they want to accomplish, how I can help them achieve their goals.
How do you remember all these things about people, though?
First of all, it's in our process to always write things down just so that we remember. But also, when you get to know somebody, you automatically associate their face with their whole entire being. So it's just a matter of just, getting to know people like, I know you, Jen. Yeah. That's it. Simple.
And you got to build trust, right? It's like, right, we always, one of the other things from the academy was speed of trust. So like we use that a lot. Like you have to, if something that either increases the speed of trust or decreases the speed of trust. Yeah. And the other, like talk to people that run stores, like people are always frustrated with somebody at the store, right? And it's like, but if you didn't trust them, why did you hire them? And if you hired them, did you tell them that you trust them? Right? And it's like, so you don't want anyone working with you that doesn't trust you. You don't want to work with someone who you don't trust. So make it known up front. And then do things from that point that help you build trust between the two of you.
Okay.
And then hold them accountable, because most people just don't want that seamless interaction. They want to be held accountable as a salesperson and know that somebody's watching. Yeah. And that are rooting for them or in their corner.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to.
And seeing a weakness and being able to build them up and show them how to overturn it.
Making an impact.
Yeah, make an impact.
With your people.
Fixed Ops is the business center that drives reoccurring revenue and customer loyalty. With 84% of all monthly calls going to service, making sure every call is answered, responded to, and followed up could be daunting. Call Review Service Vision Pro changes the game on how Fixed Ops manages the phones. And with Service Vision Pro, every call is tracked and summarized so you always have full visibility into every call. And with Service Vision Pro, you're going to get real-time alerts that empower you to be proactive when it comes to mitigating potential issues that could be caused by unanswered calls, voicemails, broken promises, or you just want to be notified of certain keywords like recalls. That matters to you. Service Vision Pro's AI technology is helping dealerships take back the phones and creating a more positive customer experience. So if you're interested in elevating your service experience, head to callreview.com to get started. Okay, let's fast forward. So these are great angles at really looking at bringing people into your organization and how we nurture the most important people that are fighting the fight for us, helping us build the business and they got to get along and everything else that comes with it. So, great leadership here. Some things that I've seen in your culture, you have to stand apart from your competition. I mean, look, people can work wherever they want to work. There's a ton of dealerships out there. We have a big problem with finding, good talent. So you've given us some tips on attracting the right talent. Right? Now you got to keep the talent, my friends. You have to keep the people in your dealerships. They don't want to go anywhere else. So they don't want to work for anybody else. They wouldn't even think about talking to somebody else. How did you get here? Because quite frankly, I've known you guys for years. And that's the one thing that was very consistent is that people did not leave.
I think it boils down back to that trust factor. They trust that we're doing everything for them and just making sure they're put in the right positions day to day. They know that we care about them. They know that, what they heard from other dealerships might not necessarily be true, and some people just don't want to make that leap, you know, and go somewhere else when they know it's already good at home.
Yeah. And we don't.
Okay, but there's more to that story. I mean, I like this. This makes sense. I mean,
you
it's
go
true.
along the lines of like to
But
somebody
people
who
like
watches.
amenities and things. They like things that their dealership brings to the table that nobody else brings to the table. Is that true?
I mean,
Used to be, yeah. I mean, yes, what we did, yeah. I mean, there's also like to whom like a lot is given, a lot is expected. So it's okay to hire people and tell them like you're expecting a lot of them, so you're going to give them a lot, right? Like, and then so also like don't gatekeep information. Like our salespeople can desk deals. Like it's not the end of the world. They have to defend the price. That's the harder part.
Yes.
Our salespeople can appraise cars. Like there's tools that'll help us explain what the car is worth, but you have to be able to explain that to the client how you got there.
Yeah.
So like then they can trust us to make sure that if deals need to be made, get made. Yeah. Then I mean it's really easy to do like a program with your local Lifetime Fitness. They've got corporate programs that you can get everybody a gym membership to.
Is that what you guys did?
Yeah, we had that. So
Did you offer everybody a gym membership?
Yes.
That's working at the dealership?
Every single person.
And what do you have to do for that?
You can set it up however you want. Our program was set up, you had to scan in 4 times in a month, and then we'd cover you just pay the taxes, we pay the membership.
After meals.
And then, so then we had meals. So if you were on any type of hourly team member, you got lunch, came from a local meal prep company, like local organic meal prep company, every shift that you worked. And anybody else at the dealership could order it at a discount.
Every shift that you work, you brought in lunch for any hourly people?
Because if they're making like $16, $17, $18, $19 an hour, they're spending that when they go to lunch, at least that. So this way, also went along with the gym membership, like they could support a lot of these guys, especially like our valets and stuff, would like very much connect to that. Having the food that they want to get that's healthy, and then also being able to go to the gym.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And you got with people that are mentally fit too. I mean, that's the thing.
It's a hell of a combination.
It is a great combination. Okay, this makes it. Okay, I have to throw something out there. Maybe you forgot. I don't know, but let me just tell you. One of the things that I watched them do. This was about mental health.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something I felt that this is an incentive for people to want to work in your organization. This is something that we deal. I mean, look, we've got a lot of issues. People, COVID, the whole thing. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it's still a thing.
If you want performance if you really want to manage performance, you really have to understand what's under the hood, right? And so we went through the process, like the insurance company that we'd had at where we worked, we went through it with a couple team members of them asking us how do they get help through the program, through insurance, through the EAP, and it was not easy. So we went out and looked on the marketplace and we came across BetterHelp, and they were very easy to use. So BetterHelp. Yeah. BetterHelp. So that way our team members, you can communicate text, video, phone call. They can arrange a meeting in person.
Anywhere,
anytime. You become active. It's a flat fee. And then we covered that flat fee for them. You can come on and off of it however you want. But while you're on it, we're covering it. So it's at no cost to you.
Okay. So this is something you offer all employees?
When they work.
From the day one they get to work there?
It's not on our insurance policy.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
It's entirely separate.
It's a separate. Okay. And so what this allows me to, if I'm having any sort of troubles, I want to talk to somebody, I can talk to somebody relatively immediately.
Oh, very quickly. They'll match you. I mean, you go through your questionnaire so they know how to match you. And then, so anything from family issues to relationship issues.
These are like remote therapists?
Yeah, there's remote and local.
Local.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the non-topics that they could help people with, just being anxious or being financial troubles or career counseling, things like anything from trauma counseling to, attention deficit disorder help, eating disorders. We had obviously they don't tell you who and we don't want to know who, but it tells you these are areas we've been helping people at your dealership. So the reporting is really strong too. And there's you can't expect a lot of, I thought it was going to be younger generations that were using it. Demographic skew definitely over the age of 34.
Okay. Well, I love this resource. Are there other resources that, again, you would say are modern, relevant incentives for people to want to work in your organization, stay in your organization?
One of the things we were very big on was being a part, genuinely being a part of the community. Giving the idea of philanthropy and giving back and doing things just because you can. And that's the only really reason that you need. So, pick something and it's, narrow down what it is that you want to care about, but then that what you're working towards isn't just to repair a car or sell a car. You're actually, by going to this car dealership, like you are bringing a kid's dream to life through Make-A-Wish, or you're helping soldiers that are deployed overseas via the USO. And it's like, doesn't necessarily link. I wouldn't think that that's what happens at this dealership, but it helps if I can sit down and tell you, like, not only are you helping somebody get the car of their dreams, but they do that. This is how they help impact the community around them. And people really connected with that.
So one of the things that I noticed is that you guys are doing a lot of community work, a lot of different events. I've seen some exotic shows. I've seen you guys get involved in just a lot of fundraising, charity work. How do you present that to your team so that everybody is a participant and a willing participant, even in getting involved? Because a lot of times people will be like, "Oh, I work at the dealership for 7 days a week. Why do I have to go and do this event? What's in it for me?" And I imagine that you have to approach this in a different way to really help the team understand what we're fighting for. A common goal or something. But I can tell you, your team was super pumped to do these events, and I watched them light up, and I just can't wait to find out what you did to get to this point where your team was so excited to do an event together and share their stories amongst their peers about whatever it is that you were doing at this event.
I think when you invest in people, they invest in you. And when it's important to us, it's important to them. So, we carry ourselves as a family, and if you need anything, we're there for you. If you want anything, we're there for you. They don't feel obligated to do anything. It's more out of the kindness of their hearts. They just automatically leap to whatever we're doing. So, and it's for a great cause. Whenever we do something, it's something behind it. It's not just for us. It's not just to look like we're, a car dealership and
right.
We just want to sell cars. It's not even about that.
Yeah.
It's about the investment in the community and the people that we serve.
Yeah, you decide what you are, right? So it's like there was an interview the previous CEO of JetBlue gave where he was like, we have airplanes, right? So it's really easy to judge us as an airline, but that's the bar for that we feel is too low. We don't want to be judged as an airline. So you could be judged as a dealership, or just because you have cars, or you could be judged as a place that truly engages people that work there and the community that comes to buy there. And you don't have to necessarily be judged just because you have cars the same way. So the less everybody else does, the easier it is for you to do something that's different.
Is there anything else that you could share with us on creating this culture that I just want to work here? I just want to work here. I don't want to really go anywhere. This is an organization that continues to strive for excellence when it comes to me, not just the company, but or the customers. But maybe you can send us off with something that you've observed as maybe outcomes and processes, things that you've gotten real committed to.
I think it starts with you. Like you said in the beginning, during the interview process, are you the same person who interviewed me? Because a lot of times when we interview associates, they get to the dealership and they're not the same person.
Right.
But if you can have that same consistency and be that person that they interviewed for and wanted to come work for day in and day out, people really respect
the real.
Yeah, you got to be real. You got to be 100% yourself. You can't
be vulnerable.
Somebody in front of the client and then somebody behind somebody different behind the door.
Yeah.
It's just all about who you are as a person and as a leader. And if you truly believe, what you're doing is the right thing for each and every guest that comes into your dealership, it makes all the difference in the world. And when your salespeople can see that, you'll come out and close the deal for them.
Yeah.
You'll come out and make a phone call for them. You'll run out to the dealership lot and welcome a customer to our dealership because everyone else is tied up. When salespeople see that, they start to believe like Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah, you're on the same team.
You're just this is the one.
Yes.
He is true to himself, right? And they have to be true to themselves.
And ask them. Don't be afraid to ask. Give us feedback, right? So we had our salespeople would fill out every quarter, they'd fill out like a quick 8-question survey about the sales managers. Like, how good are they finding creative ways to make deals? How available are they for TOs? How much do you learn from them? And like our salespeople, and people are like, that's crazy, you're going to let salespeople rate your managers. And it's like, no, we actually found salespeople were really, really respectful. And really we're telling you like this, I would like them to do this, this, and this, but I really like when they do this, this, and this. I think this person's trying really hard. So like, don't be afraid to actually ask your people, like, how's this going?
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, but
What could we be doing differently? Is there anything I'm not doing to support you? Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Or does it?
100%. We as sales managers and salespeople, we don't have egos. Like we want to know how we can improve to better assist you.
Yeah.
We're just open. As opposed to I know it all.
Right.
I train this. I teach this. I can still learn something from my people every day.
And ice cream, free ice cream.
And
free ice cream. Yeah, that helps too.
But you do free ice cream?
We have Fridays.
Fridays, free ice cream?
Yeah.
Free ice cream.
All Fridays?
Yeah, even through the winter.
Right now. Just free ice cream.
Ice cream's never not a good idea.
I can tell you it is never not a good idea, okay? Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day. I know you're here, like you got your own thing going on, looking at a lot of different companies.
For you, anything.
No,
Yeah. We actually
you.
had nothing going on right
I had nothing going on either.
Well, thank you guys, because, I always appreciate when people are willing to open up and share their strategies, and I'm always looking for something different that would help leaders today that are listening really just kind of rethink the way that they look at employee retention and look at being clever and creative and trying something new, as you guys have done, and continue to raise the bar, and it works.
Thank you.
I'm always looking for stuff that works.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It's nice to be recognized.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
You're the best.
Yeah, real recognized.
You're the best.
Real recognized.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jen.
thank you. I like that. Oh wait, I had this client say, this client said to me the other day, game knows game. I said, that's true. That's true.
Nobody's got game like Jen.
Anyways, all right, guys.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
If you like these episodes and my sales game techniques, you should snatch up our latest dealer education program I'm hosting. It's called Jen's Remote Classes, and it's a 1-hour, once-a-week class with me alongside other dealerships, all pursuing the same end game to achieve top 10% status in your dealership. For more info, hit me up. All my contact info's in the show notes. I want to hear from you. And follow Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki right now to get notified when episodes like this one drop. This is Jen on the podcast Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki. See ya!